Yeah, they are joining, sir. Your students are joining.
Yes, yes.
स्टार्ट कीजिए.
Allow them to do.
Please start, Meenakshi. Please start.
Amol sir, please mute yourself. A pleasant good morning to one and all. I, Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik, on behalf of the cluster institution, heartily welcome our respected organizers of the lecture series of BA First Year Semester 1 Compulsory English, Dr. Pranati Chakravarti Madam, President, Click, Dr. Urmira Dabir, Principal, Rajkumar KEWAL Ramani Kanya Mahavidyalay Nagpur, Dr. Usha Sakure, Principal, MANOHARRAO KAMDI Mahavidyalay Nagpur, and Dr. Shraddha Anil Kumar Madam, Principal, DAYANAND ARYA Mahavidyalay Nagpur. I heartily welcome the coordinator of the lecture series, Dr. Sujata Chakravarti and Dr. Madhavi Mohuril Madam in today's session. I feel great pleasure to welcome our enthusiastic students in today's lecture. Today is the seventh successive day of the lecture series, and we are indeed honored to have with us a very hardworking, resourceful personality and an erudite scholar, Dr. Amol Mende sir, with us. I take this opportunity to introduce to you to Dr. Mende. Dr. Amol Mende is an associate professor, Department of English, Dr. Madhukar Rao Vasnik, PWS Arts, Commerce and Science College, Nagpur. He has 8 years of experience for graduate and postgraduate.
ऑनलाइन क्लास चालू है यहाँ पे.
Area of interest is Indian English literature, restoration and 18th century literature, modern literature, romantic and Victorian poetry, cultural studies, and post-colonial literature. The topic of his PhD was the themes and techniques in the novels of Shashi Tharoor. Sir has completed his minor research project in the year 2015. He has many research papers published in national and international journals to his credit. Dr. Mende has recently authored and published his reference book about critical studies on Shashi Tharoor under the title New Perspective of Shashi Tharoor. Sir has participated in administrative government bodies like Executive Member of CLIC and Joint Secretary of NUTA, Nagpur District Rural in the year 2023. Dr. Mende has actively contributed in various administrative and social activities for the development of his college. He is a recipient of CLIC Achievers Award in the year 2008. Dr. Amol Mende believes in Dr. Ambedkar's ideology of social equality and humanism, which often reflects in his professional and social aspects of life. With immense exultation, I feel honored to call upon Dr. Amol Mende sir to deliver his stalwartly presentation on the topic assigned to him from the poetry section, Unit 2, in the Bazaars of Hyderabad by Sarojini Naidu. Over to you, Dr. Mende sir.
Amol sir, please start.
At the outset, I pay my salutations to all the scholars of the world and all the social workers who have harnessed their lives for the betterment of the humanity and human value. I heartily express my sense of gratitude to all the principals of all these cluster colleges, Dr. Sakure Madam, Dr. Vijay Dabi, Dr. Shraddha Anil Kumar Madam, and their faculty also, and the course coordinator and all for making me this part of this academic activity. Actually, the topic that has been assigned to me is the Bazaars of Hyderabad by Sarojini Naidu. As far as this topic is concerned, I will be dealing this topic in two segments. In the first segment, I will be dealing with Sarojini Naidu as a patriot, as a politician, as a poet, as a literate, as a philosopher, and the worshipper of Indian ethos and pathos, Indian art, Indian sculpture, and everything that is Indian in her writings. Her glorification of India and her valuable contribution in the freedom struggle or the freedom movement of India. As far as Sarojini Naidu is concerned, she is known to the world as the poet, politician of modern India and the Nightingale of India. Pandit Nehru has called in one of her gatherings, in one of her political gatherings, and while defining her contribution to Indian ethos and pathos and Indian freedom struggle movement also. And as far as literature is concerned, what she has penned ever, she was called the Nightingale of India. And Sarojini Naidu, being the follower of Mahatma Gandhi and the ideal follower of different great leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and she has plunged herself, she has delved deep herself in the uh, struggle of India's freedom struggle. As far as we know that Gandhi had started non-cooperation movement, and everybody had contributed a lot as far as literature is concerned, art is concerned, philosophy is concerned, poetry is concerned, industrialists are concerned, capitalists are concerned, and different common masses are concerned. Everybody had his own share, her own share in this freedom movement. And Gandhi had started, Gandhi had started marching and the non-cooperation movement and resisting and protesting to foreign goods. And in this context, Sarojini Naidu had done tremendous contribution. She had given tremendous exposure in this mass movement. And as far as this poem is concerned, and as far as the writings are concerned, Savitri or the Bazaars of Hyderabad or some of her all other poems are concerned, she has tried to voice this movement in her literature. And the glorification of India, the love for India, the patriotism for India, then the patriotic verb of her literature, of her writings, of her poetry, and it is everything in India. And Sarojini Naidu has tried her best to document her contribution and to create awareness among the people about Swadeshi movement, what we call as the home products. And she had made Herculean efforts through her writings, through her literature, through her oratory, through her speeches, through everything that is she is associated to her political affiliations also, to rise this, to strengthen this movement. And in the light of that, she has produced some of the poems presenting or representing or epitomizing this Indian philosophy, Indian the quality of Indian goods and the patriotic fervor in her field and had her tremendous contribution in non-cooperation movement. And the poem that has been assigned to me to deliver or to deal with in this lecture, in this syllabus BA Part 1 syllabus based online lecture series by the organizer is In the Bazaars of Hyderabad. As far as this title is concerned, there are two feelings that we come across. The first is the bazaars and the second is Hyderabad. Means the native culture, the love for, respect for, reverence for native culture, native goods, native products, and the nostalgic feeling for her roots, for her native land, for her birthplace, that is Hyderabad. So as a child, when Sarojini Naidu used to visit the different bazaars of Hyderabad, she has narrated this, what she had experienced in those bazaars. She has tried to voice this, she has tried to elaborate this, interpret this, express this uh, in this poetry. In the bazaars of Hyderabad is filled with nostalgia, Indo-nostalgia, full of different facets. It is the poem of different facets. It has the shades of patriotism. It has the shades of native place, nostalgia felt for native place, for roots, and again the love for rural, the love for countryside life. So all these aspects are brought together in this poem in the bazaars of Hyderabad. So Sarojini Naidu was born on 13th February 1879. Let's see a brief. The courtesy for this slide is for Central Government Celebration Committee of Amrut Mahotsav series, and I have used this as a resource in this presentation. Uh, she was a freedom fighter and a poet. She was a fiery poet, and she was a great freedom fighter. Supporter of civil rights. Sarojini Naidu is known as the supporter of civil rights. Women's emancipation. She was highly concerned with, she was deeply moved with the sufferings, agonies, and anguishes, and the cultural mindset, and the superstitious mindset of Indian womanhood, and she has voiced her all this in her book. Anti-imperialistic idea. Another that she had tremendous association with the thought that the colonial exploitation of the British was confronted by India. She was anguished by the partition of Bengal in 1905 and decided to join the Indian freedom struggle. So that was her first plunge into the plunging into the great yajna of freedom struggle of India. Was one of the first women to participate in India's struggle for independence. She was the first woman to participate, and she was the first Congress women president of India. Earned the sobriquet and Nightingale of India, or Bharat Kokia, from Mahatma Gandhi because of her poetry. Mahatma Gandhi had entitled her this special designation, this special title, with seeing the lyricism in her poetry, seeing the patriotic verve in her poetry, and seeing her nostalgic ideas felt in her poetry. And she was called the Nightingale of India, or Bharat Kukia, by the great sentinel Mahatma Gandhi. Her poetry praised by leading personalities such as Rabindranath Tagore. So she has got appreciation, and everybody had admired her for her lyricism and for different poetic techniques, what she had used, the pictorial quality, narrative quality, then different types of meter and lyricism and the musical note observed felt in her poetry. And she was highly praised by Rabindranath Tagore, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. After the independence of India, she became the first governor of United Provinces of Uttar Pradesh. She was the first women governor of India, and that was the state she was monitoring as a governor was Uttar Pradesh. And such a great scholar, such a great poet, breathed her last, and after her devotion, dedication towards her poetry, towards freedom movement, and towards all these uh, different shades and different areas and different walks of life that was she breathed her last and left for heavenly abode on 2nd of March 1949 after just 2 years of Indian Indian freedom, and she could not taste the sweet fruits of freedom, and she had to take her departure very soon from the world due to some illness. Okay, so this is about the writer, the poet, the fiery freedom fighter, and the first women governor of it. And now let's see the poem, that is the text. Next, about the poet, and we have already discussed. And this poem has some social setup, some cultural setup, some particular churning on Indian themes, Indian issues, Indian ethnicities, Indian identities, Indian small scale industries, and Indian everything that is Indian that comes to her. She has tried to celebrate it. She has tried to celebrate in her poem. So, as far as this poem is concerned, it is a picture of a rural weekly bazaar of Hyderabad. What she had once, and she had many a times, she had confronted or she had experienced. So, the poem starts, it has 5 stanzas, but every stanza has its own content. Every stanza has its own narration. Every stanza has its own voice. And every stanza has its own style. So the poem starts with questions. As if we feel that, the readers feel that we are experienced and we are going from one shop to the second shop, one to another, one another to third to fourth, and asking to that particular shopkeeper or asking to that particular merchant or this vendor or this peddler or this musicians, and you are having this experience in actual way. So this is the pictorial quality, and while going through this stanza, you can visualize this scene as we see in John Keats' poetry, as we see in Wordsworth's poetry, as we see in Shelley's poetry. So that pictorial quality she has inculcated, she has nurtured to all these lines. So let's see that in the first confrontation or the first experience with the first seller, and she has narrated like this. What do you say, O you merchant? Means she is addressing to the merchants, and their goods, their objects are placed on display. Richly your wares are displayed. It is a cloth sale, and is selling different types of clothes. He had different clothes, different attire, different richly and priestly clothes, common clothes, and different types of having different shades, different colors, and different types of variations are found on this sale. And she is addressing to this, oh you merchants, what are you selling? Richly you wear are displayed. You are all goods, you are all objects, you are all clothes, your all materials are kept on display and they are looking very beautiful, very appealing to the customers. And what they are consisting, what they are included in this, she has narrated in further lines. Turbans of crimson and silver. There are particular turbans of crimson colors and silver, tunics of purple brocade. There are particular embroidery, there are particular engravements are made, particular designs, and particular different types of designs are made, and such tunics are also kept on display for sale. Mirrors with panels of amber, mirrors full of different shaped mirrors, different colors, and different types of glasses and different types of mirrors are also placed on display. So, mirrors with panels of amber, daggers with handles of jade. Even these daggers and uh, their cases are also there, and they are also different types of handles you will find there, and all these things are kept on display. And Sarojini Naidu, the poet, is interacting with the merchant in this pictorial quality, in this communicative manner, in this conversational way, and as if you enjoy it as as if you are visiting that shop or that vendor shop or that peddler shop or that merchant shop, and you are dealing with making some deals to purchase it. So that experience is felt by the author, felt by the reader. So that is the greatness, that is the strength of the pen of Sarojini. So let's say the second paragraph. And then there are some vendors, there are some people who are sitting on the streets and they are selling some material, there are some objects, and they are weighing it. What do you weigh, O you vendors? So it is just like a colloquial manner. Saffron and lentil and rice. They are selling saffron. Saffron, what we call in kesher, or in Hindi it is called zafran. So saffron and lentil and rice. There are some lentil and rice also, different variations of rice, the sachets and the sachets of different, the sacks of different quality of rice are kept on it, and these are kept on display to sale. What do you grind, O you maidens? And there are some beautiful young girls, there are some unmarried girls, and they are grinding something. What do you grind, O you maidens? They are grinding sandalwood. Sandalwood, what we call in Chandan in Marathi. Hina is mainly, and spices. So they are selling this, they are grinding it, they are preparing it, and different stuffs and different spices are being sold. And the poet is interacting there, that what you are selling, and it is narrated in these lines. What do you call, O peddlers? Peddlers is that the people who are selling the different types of game material, different types of dices, and chessmen, and ivory dice. So these peddlers are street sellers who sell these types of material. What do you call a peddler? Chessmen with the chess. There are particular dices which are used for playing chess, and these chessmen and ivory dice, different types of dices made of ivory, means the tusk of elephant, and that they are made from that. And these peddlers are selling that. So this is all the countryside, and this is all the small scale industry productions which has been glorified in these lines, and they are all being sold in the bazaars of Hyderabad. And the poet is narrating it as if she is visiting it and asking them to buy, asking them to purchase, and in this way he is narrating that. What do you make with gold? Then she turns to another stall, another shop, and it is a shop of gold. What do you make of gold? These goldsmiths are making different types of ornaments, anklets, wristlet, rings, and they are selling it. Means the production is also going on, the making is also going on, and the selling process is also going on. And all these materials, all these ornaments of various types of ornaments are kept on display. So she is interacting with the goldsmith. Wristlet and anklet and rings, bells for the feet of blue pigeons. There are particular bells which are fastened, which are tied to the legs of blue pigeons, beautiful blue pigeons. Pigeons means doves, and in those times, these doves are kept as pets, nurtured as pets, and they are very loved ones to their masters, and they adore it with everything that is possible to them. And these bells are also used to adore their feet, to decorate their feet, and adding the charms of beauty in those features. And these bells are also being sold by the gold. Frail as dragonflies, these bells are so delicate, so soft, that as if just like the dragonfly's wings, as transparent as flimsy as these dragonflies, is a sort of insect who have who have wings, and they keep on flying. And that dragonfly, what we call as in just like butterfly, but they are not butterflies, but they are different insects. Frail as dragonflies do. Girdles of gold for the dancers. Even the girdles made of gold, golden colored girdles are also being made, and they are also sold, which are adding the beauty of dancers while their performances. And these girdles are also being sold, they are also available on the shop, and all these scabbards of gold for the cases, the sword cases, where the sword is kept, what we call as man in Marathi, that is called. The scabbards are also placed on the display, and they are available in this shop of gold. So overall, this stanza just picturizes, just portray a shop of gold, and you feel that this these all materials are being dealt by the customer, and everything is he is picking it up and asking the cost of that. In that way, the poetess Sarojini Naidu has projected and expressed this picture of the bazaar of Hyderabad. Next, and in this fruit man, now there are some fruit vendors, fruit sellers in the shop, in this bazaar, and they are selling their fruit, different types of fruit. Some of them are selling citron. Citron is a acid containing large fruit, just like lemon or sweet lemon or oranges, like that. In that class, that fruit is called citron, and pomegranate and plum. Plum is very fleshy type of fruit, which is called as Zardadu in Marathi. So that plum is also being sold by this fruitman, and they are shouting. So while going through all this bazaar, you are associated with any weekly bazaar in your locality, in your vicinity that we come across, and there are. This is a regular picture that she has narrated in her poem, in this poem. So what do you cry? They are shouting loudly and selling their goods. And these fruitmen are selling all this food. What do you play, O musicians? Then there are some shops of musicians. There are some vendors. They are sitting on the street and they are selling some musical instruments, and they are playing it, and means they are also performers and they are also singers. So they are just showing the quality of their goods. They are just showing the quality of their equipment and trying to attract the customers. And this feeling is felt in this line. What do you play, O musicians? Sitar, sarangi, and drum. So some of them are playing sitar and sarangi and drum. Sarangi is a sort of harp that produces a very melodious music. And drums are just like tablas or drum beatings, nagara, what we call in Marathi. So these drums are also being sold in this bazaar or on this shop. What do you chant, O magicians? And again, there is another attraction in the bazaar, that some magician show is going on, and that magicians, it's a monkey man's show, just like monkey man's show, or some bear man's show, or some pet or some animals being performed, and this is like that. That magicians are also chanting some words, and they are making the people, all the people are spellbound, are stuck and surprised, astonished, and amazed with all these performances made by magicians, and spells for the aliens to come. Aliens to come means some magical spirits. Just you are going to invoke them, you are going to invite them, and such words, magical words, are being chanted in this Hyderabad, in this bazaar that is being placed on, that is taking place in Hyderabad. The last is very emotional. The last paragraph has sentimental touch, and it has emotional shades, that because the different emotions are the happiness, love, marriage, and then death, and the separation, and the gravity of human life, the seriousness of human life, the stark realities of human life have been also placed in this stanza, have been also expressed in this stanza, in this concluding stanza. What do you weave, you flower girl? There are some flower shops, and some girls are weaving some garlands. They are making some flower garlands. And the poet goes and asks them, in a very conversational tone, she asks them that, oh, what you are weaving, what you are making, what you are doing. So the flower girls are just interacting and saying that as a response to that question, with tassels of azure and red. These are the different garlands. These are the different types of with tassels of azure and red, having multiple colors. Flowers are there, and they are weaving these different garlands with great enthusiasm. And they are making different types of objects and different types of materials from that flower, just like garlands, crowns, chaplets, and sheets and flower sheets and so on. So crowns for the brow of a bridge group. When the marriage procession is going on and the newly married bride are going to marry that girl is decorated with flowery crowns, or at different festivals or at different occasions, happy moments. These crowns for flowery crowns are offered or used or given or adored this bridge groom or this bride or this groom. Chaplets to garland there. And it is just like the first night for their after their marriage, and as a physical union, that particular that first night, it is all decorated and decked with flowers, and even those sheets of flowers are also those flowery sheets are also being sold on this shop, that flowery shop. These girls are also weaving such types of sheets and such types of flowery chaplets to garland, to decorate it. So these all this being sold. Sheets of white blossoms, new gathered to perfume the sleep of them. So again, the tone of the poem gets melancholy in this line, and it offers the variations, and it also talks about the, the association with that. Sheets of white blossoms, just like white is a symbol of silence, white is a symbol of coldness, white is a symbol of death, and that white is also a symbol of mental peace. And these white blossoms, these white flowers are particularly used to decorate or to pay last salutation, last ritual to the dead body or to the dead one. And this bed is decorated with this white flowers, and even these white sheets of these white flowers are also being made by these flower girls, and to perfume the sleep of the dead. So, as far as this concluding line is concerned, you will find the strength of the imaginative power, creative power of Sarojini, just to talk about the dead, to perfume sleep of the dead, just to make his last journey of life fragrant, and his eternal sleep, to perfume it, to offer beauty and to make it more convenient, the fragrance of the flowers. And even these white sheets are also being sold on this shop, or on this flower girls are also preparing on this. So in this way, the poem concludes. But overall, the evaluation of the poem, you will find that Sarojini Naidu has tried her best to fight and to elaborate and to decorate and to glorify the countryside, the small scale industry, and the Indian economy. So she has hyped it to this very memorable poem in the bazaar. Here I would like to include my discourse, and if there are some questions regarding the poem, uh, we can deal with the students, and I will be very happy that if there are some queries or some complexities regarding the poem faced by the students who have joined on this virtual platform, I would like to talk with them, and I would like to cooperate them in this. So, thank you once again for making me part of this great activity, and it has been a great pleasure to join once again and hear my discourse on this topic. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Samuel. Thank you, Meenakshi madam, for this nice introduction. I'm not so great to call to the great and different scholar, but it is your magnanimity and it is your greatness, your large-heartedness that you address me with that, and we will continue this association. Thank you once. Thank you all the students for joining.
Thank you, Amol sir.
Thank you, sir.
Meenakshi, please continue.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. Through your poem, you have really taken us back to the memory lane of my hometown, Hyderabad city. So I hope the students, they have definitely benefited from your lecture, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to the organizers and coordinators of the program for their constant support and motivation to conduct this online lecture series of BA First SEM Compulsory English. With immense exultation, I express my sense of gratitude to the resource person, Dr. Minde sir, for his insightful scholarship presentation. Thank you, sir. My earnest thanks to our dear students for their actively participating in this program. Tomorrow we will join in the morning at 9 a.m. with another resourceful person, Dr. Megha Ramteke, who would be conducting the session for another lecture on the topic A Walk Away by Moonlight by Henry Dorozio, taken from the poetry section unit 2. So meet you tomorrow. Till then, goodbye and take care. Thank you, sir.